Stoicism, a practical philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium, provides insights on how to deal with different types of people. Among these types, there are certain characters who may possess toxic traits, as viewed from a Stoic perspective. In our video, we will identify 5 such types of individuals, as well as explore Stoic strategies to handle these personalities. Our objective is to showcase how the Stoic philosophy can help us interact knowledgeably and effectively in complex social scenarios. Number 1. The chronic complainer. The chronic complainer is the sort of individual who always seems to have something to gripe about. If you're familiar with the saying, "when all else fails, there's always complaint," then you've definitely met this personality type before. They are characterized by negativity, dissatisfaction, and a general sense of unease with their lives. Their grievances range from trivial daily occurrences to broader life issues. Whether the weather isn't to their liking, or they didn't get enough sleep, or their coffee was too hot, they're always finding something awry. Everyday inconveniences that merely irk most people take center stage in their reality. This constant state of dissatisfaction can drain both their energy and yours. In addition to regularly voicing their dissatisfaction, chronic complainers often have an external locus of control. This means they believe that external circumstances govern their lives, instead of recognizing that they have the power to alter their life trajectories through personal choices and actions. They generally feel powerless and at the mercy of the world around them. This perceived lack of control can exacerbate their negative outlook. Immersing yourself in the chronic complainer's world can become taxing, as their negativity can seep into your own psyche, subtly shifting your mindset. It's crucial to be mindful of this when interacting with such individuals. Remember, each person is responsible for their own emotions and reactions. Empathy and understanding can go a long way, but establish boundaries when necessary to protect your own well-being. It's important to remember Stoicism's teachings in such scenarios. They advocate for discerning the things within our control and those without, and focusing our energy on the former. Perhaps supporting the chronic complainer in adopting this Stoic approach could lead to not just less complaining, but a more positive and fulfilling life for them. Number 2. The distracting debater. The distracting debater can be considered a toxic individual, particularly in a group dynamic. Of all the toxic personalities, this type is the most likely to drain the collective energy of the group and impede progress. This person thrives on controversy, consistently bringing up topics that are divisive or controversial in nature. While healthy discourse is a necessary element in any group, the distracting debater isn't primarily interested in understanding or resolution. Instead, this individual is more interested in the debate itself, often steering conversations into arguments and territorial battles. They're frequently more interested in appearing intellectually superior than in reaching a unified conclusion. As such, they tend to stifle productive conversation by focusing primarily on points of contention, often disregarding any potential positive resolutions that may be reached. The underlying issue is not their desire to debate, a trait necessary for problem-solving and progress in general. Rather, it is their inability to consider other perspectives and a tendency to employ destructive dialogical tactics such as personal attacks, strawman arguments, and shifting goalposts. In many ways, this person can foster a hostile environment where people feel attacked rather than encouraged to share their viewpoints freely. This kind of attitude can erect a barrier to group cohesion and mutual respect, making it difficult to build a healthy, functional group dynamic. As such, it's important to recognize the traits of the distracting debater, not to ostracize, but to understand how best to approach conversations and disagreements with them. Number 3. The perpetual victim. The perpetual victim is the third type of toxic person that we're exploring. This individual tends to demonstrate an ingrained pattern of self-victimization. They seem to thrive on the thought that the world is consistently against them, and they're the unfortunate recipients of relentless adversity. What's concerning about the perpetual victim is how they casually absolve themselves of any blame in situations that go awry. Their primary defensive mechanism is to play the victim card, thereby shunning any notions of accountability. They're forever marooned in the sea of blame-throwing, rarely ever taking a moment to analyze their possible contribution to a negative situation. Perpetual victims are often plagued by a persistent sense of pessimism. Their view of the world is tinted with a grayscale color, where they believe that they have the unluckiest lot in life. This constant victimhood can be a drain on those around them, as it fosters a negative environment filled with resentment and bitterness. One essential thing to remember about perpetual victims is that their mindset may be deeply rooted in past trauma or emotional scars. While this doesn't give them carte blanche to dodge responsibilities or constantly paint themselves as the aggrieved party, it does provide some context needed for understanding their perspective. Adapting to the presence of a perpetual victim can be challenging. They require patience, understanding, and at times professional intervention, such as therapy or counseling. However, it is equally important to draw clear boundaries with them to prevent being swept up in their cycle of constant negativity and victimhood. Number 4. The covert manipulator. The covert manipulator can be regarded as one of the most sinister types of toxic individuals. Their tactics are often subtle and underhanded, making them difficult to spot, but they can nonetheless cause significant harm in any setting they are in. These individuals thrive on manipulation and control. They often use deceit as a tool for personal gain or to exert influence over others. This can be seen in their interactions with friends, family, or colleagues, where they convince others to see things from their perspective or to do what they desire. Yet their actions are seldom for the good of others. Their manipulation often takes form in guilt-tripping, ambiguous communication, or even false flattery. They have a knack for finding weaknesses in others, which they exploit for their own benefit. For instance, they may play on someone's inherent feelings of guilt to control their actions, or use flattery to gain a person's trust and subsequently their compliance. What makes a covert manipulator so toxic is their hidden malicious intent behind seemingly innocent actions and words. They excel at creating a facade of caring and understanding, making it easier for them to control others without arousing suspicion. Because their manipulative behavior is often disguised, others may find it hard to pinpoint the source of their discomfort in their interactions with the manipulator. Covert manipulators are masters of keeping their intentions hidden, yet their actions can lead to emotional turmoil for those they interact with. It is therefore essential to exercise wary skepticism when dealing with someone who seems to always have an ulterior motive, or who leaves you feeling manipulated or used after each interaction. When you understand the tactics of a covert manipulator, you stand a better chance of not falling into their destructive trap. Number 5. The negative naysayer. The negative naysayer is often characterized by a constant mood of pessimism, frequently underrating their potential for success and consistently anticipating the worst of all possible outcomes. This individual seems to carry an ominous, dismissing cloud, frequently discouraging the ideas, efforts, and aspirations of others through their words and actions. The negative naysayer holds an unwavering belief that the glass is always half empty. They are persistently skeptical, and their gloomy perspectives usually suck the enthusiasm and energy out of any situation or gathering. Not only do they emphasize and magnify the predicaments in their own lives, but they also seem to enjoy casting gloom on others' brightness. It's crucial to note that negativity is based on perception, and the negative naysayer is stuck in a loop of viewing everything through a pessimistic lens. Any achievement, no matter how significant, is usually dismissed as luck, or by pinpointing minute flaws often overlooked by others. Constructive criticism may be helpful, but the negative naysayer borders on disparagement, sometimes blurring the fine line between being realistic and unnecessarily negative. Intersection with others does leave an impact, and being around a negative naysayer exposes you to their toxic qualities. Their continuous negativity can gradually seep into your psyche, slowly lowering your morale, causing you to second-guess yourself, leading you to be significantly less productive, and possibly even impacting your overall mental health. Dealings with the negative naysayer can be challenging, and without appropriate caution, harmful. It's essential to navigate these interactions carefully, maintaining a positive perspective and not allowing their negativity to affect your mindset or actions. A crucial defensive tool against the negative naysayer, as suggested by Stoic philosophy, is to remain unaffected by external influences and uphold the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Navigating a world full of various personalities can truly be a challenge, especially with toxic individuals in the mix. Recognizing these types of people and understanding their nature through Stoicism can, however, equip us to handle them more effectively. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it provided value for you. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for watching, and until next time.